So all you need for this painting is your blue, red, and yellow, your primary colors, and green, and burnt sienna, and white. You can add black if you like, or you can make your own. And the brushes you may need, sometimes I change them up as I go along, but what I'm going to use is a nice synthetic chiseled edge brush, bristle brush, fan brush, a liner brush. And now this one here, we got a sky. And we're going to paint in our sky. So a very simple sky. Just a blue and white, mix it together. Right. Good. Just get it on there. There we go. Isn't that really nice? We're going to come down to probably, let's see, let's pick a spot. Let's come down to around here. Just make a line. I'm making a big squiggly just to show you don't have to have it straight. I'm going to add a little bit of red to my paint this time, just to purple it up a little bit. Purple in your paintings really adds a lot of interest to your paintings. It's very beautiful. There we go. Just put it on. You can go back and forth like that, or you can just do crisscross strokes. Or you can just go back and forth, just as long as you get it on smooth. See how nice and smooth it is there? I'm going to add only white this time, just to brighten it up. Good. See? No need to be too fussy at this point. Just get your paint on there. More white. Gets lighter as you go to the bottom, as you know. This is going to be a pretty fast painting. This is one of the paintings that I like to do that's doesn't take a long time. Something you can have some fun with. But look at that sky. Isn't that pretty already? Nice. Just throw on a bit of white in the corner of your brush. White only. Just make some circles. A few old clouds and going in there, little happy ones. Little happy clouds. I'm just going to blend that in with the rest of the sky right there. And I'm just going to take whatever's left over my brush and start making these circles so that the clouds are barely see some of them. You can wait for your paint to dry to put them on, or you can just blend it in with what's there. Okay. Just a few little clouds. Just make circles. And once you get your top, move away from it, okay? Just move around. Just move around. As long as you get your top, you're good. Alright. Some more down here. Just touch into the corner of your brush and come out and make circles. Little round circles. There we go. And I'm blending the bottoms. I might wait for that to dry to put some more on, but I'm just going to, for now, I'm just going to get some shapes. What kind of clouds I want. Maybe some lower ones to the ground. Okay, and then just some streaks of clouds. Just squiggle my brush around. As long as you're getting white, see? They look like clouds, okay? Good. That's all you need, just some clouds in the sky. It looks nice, doesn't it? Alright, so let's pick up some yellow. Yellow, and probably a little bit of red. A little bit of red. There we go. It'll come an orangey look. But more yellow than red, okay? More yellow. I don't have it totally mixed, as you can see. And I'm just going to paint the whole bottom here that color. It looks like it's upside down, doesn't it? That could be the water and this could be the sky. Sunset sky, but it's not. Not today. I've done so many sunsets. And I love them. I could do many, many, many. A bit of burnt sienna there. And I'm going to get a little bit of that here. Not much, just enough to give it some shadows. See? So I always talk about 3 values, right? So if you could, and layering. Layering 3 values, highlights, shadows. You know, you get that, see how that changes it, makes it much, it gives it more definition. Gives it more interest. Alright. Add a bit of white. So say I got dark, medium, and light up here. Alright. So always look for your 3 values. If you don't have them, it can be it can be the same color, or it can be 3 different colors, as long as they're dark, medium, and light. Just adding these colors for interest, just playing around with some colors. But I want you to see how a difference it makes, okay? I want to get rid of that line there. I don't want that there. That's nice. There we go. Nice, some lights and some. If you lose some of your darks, well, just go back over it with some of your colors that you lost. Make sure they blend into each other a little bit, but not enough to disappear. Right? See? See how they separate and everything? Nice. So I'm going to make some trees in the corners, just so we can have some interest. Make them here probably around there. So take your burnt sienna or burnt umber and some blue. We'll make it nice and dark, right? So that's why you don't need black. You can make your own black. Alright. And I want to kind of on the brown side. So I'm going to punch in some trees right here. Well, not trees, but these are some bushes that are hanging around. Now because my paint is still wet, it's turning it a bit light. I'm still using my flat brush. I just want somewhere for that tree to fit, okay? To fall and hang out. I'm going to put one on the other side. Okay. That's a place for the tree to hang out, okay? Good. Good, good, good. Like I said, because the paint underneath is still wet, it lightened up on me, so I can go over it with some darks again after. But I just want to show you, you know, because I'm doing a video, I'm not going to wait for it to dry. I'm just going to let it dry. So I'm just coming out a little bit just so I can decide where I want my trees and what I want to do. I'm going to take a smaller flat brush and I'm going to pick up the same colors. Might even add a bit of red to it, I don't know. Just anything that makes it dark, okay? Anything that makes it dark. See how nice that color is? Really nice. You can add more blue if you want it darker. You know, you can even add green. As long as they're all dark colors, you're going to get that really almost a black color, okay? Which is beautiful, because then you don't have to go and use the black out of the bottle or out of your tube. So let's make a tree hanging out this way. And up here like this. Another little one up here. Just some branches coming off. I'm using a chiseled edge of my brush. And then we'll put another one on the other side. Right, just some. Okay, so pull up and up and some branches. Right, so now we're going to use, because I don't want to get them too thick, I'm going to use my liner brush, and I'm going to pull that. I'm going to wet it so that it's almost dripping. And I'm going to put that in my paint here and roll it around. And then I'm going to pull out some of these nice little twigs. Alright, so lots of paint, and then you shouldn't have to, and if you don't push too hard, you should get those really thin lines. Just try to use the very tip of the brush. Alright. Depends on how many bushes you want and where you want them. Alright, let's keep going. Here it is. That's the one with that kind of a top. If you don't have one of these, just use a bristle brush and just take the brush, alright, any bristle brush, and take it and push it in your hand so the bristles open. The main thing is to get those bristles to open so that you get some paint individually, alright? So I'm going to go into my green, and I'm going to, see how it spreads open like that? See that? That's what I'm looking for. So I need some green and maybe a little bit of red. And what else do I want? I don't want it too dark, so I'm going to add some white, some yellow. It's not too bad. A little bit of burnt sienna. I'm going to mix the colors together until I'm happy with them, alright? Let's see, that seems nice. Let's try that. So I'm going to tap that on there. You may have to tap in some shadows after because it looks too bright. But if you like it that way, you certainly can leave it. But I'm going to put some darks in. I like to put my darks in first normally. But trying different things. Kind of looks nice, doesn't it? Now, I'm going to put in my burnt. I'm going to add some darks by adding some burnt sienna, a little bit of blue, darken it up, a little bit of red. More burnt sienna, because I want to be on the brown side if I can, and some green. Whoops, here you are. So burnt sienna, sap green, cad red, ultramarine blue. Tap, 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 tap. Alright, so that's nice and dark there now. I'll bring it up around here. So I'll add some darks in there. See, that's so much better for contrast, right? We're looking for contrast. Good, that's nice. We'll do the other side. Same thing, just down here. But this time we'll do the tree after, because I want to show you both ways. So you can put your dark on first, and then a few little dark spots up here, and then we'll put our light color on, okay? So go into your light green that we just did, green, some yellow. Alright, I'm going to say light is coming in from the left and it's going to hit the tops of these bush trees here. We need to know that because that way you can make a decision where you want your highlights. Alright, good. Alright, some pretty bushes there now, and we're going to highlight some of these also. Just tap, tap, tap. Good. That's good for now. That's good for now. We can always go back and do more things, but I'm not worried about it right now. So I just want to get some stuff in place just to see what it's going to look like. So next I'm going to put some kind of a little path coming down through there, I think. I'll just put a little path coming out through here, okay? Just leave that back open there. And it's coming probably back from behind this bush here, these trees, and probably coming over. Let's just try something. Let's go with burnt sienna, red. Burnt sienna, red, and some white. Alright, we'll just try that much. Now you can have whatever colors you want. I'm just using the colors that I'm going to use. And I'm going to take that corner of my brush. I want to mark it out first where I want it. And maybe here. And coming in through here. Alright. Nice big wide path, but it's coming back from back here somewhere, okay? Alright. Just putting some white on to bring it together because it's kind of streaky. If you get streaks in your paintings, just add some white and that'll take the streaks out. There are different ways to take your streaks out, just blending techniques and adding more paint, letting one dry and then repainting over it. So we want the path to go around that corner. Alright. Alright, we'll try that. Let's try that. And get out your bristle brush again. Just a little one. Oh, just a little brush. Little bristle. Baby bristle. And dip into some green. Green and a little bit of red so that we can make it an earth tone. And a bit of yellow. Adding red to your green makes it more earthy. Same with burnt sienna, make it nice and earthy looking. Nice and dark, okay? So these are colors that keep an eye, you know, when you're following along with me, just make note of the colors that I mentioned because people do have a hard time figuring out the colors. Even I do at times. Sometimes I can't get the colors I want and can't figure out why I can't get them. Why? You know why? Because of the brand. Some brands' colors are not quite as nice. Like you get a sap green in different brands and I tell you, there's a big difference. Alright. Have some a little higher than others. Now, good. I'll let that dry and then I'm going to I'm still lighten up the top, so I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow to my brush. Just tapped into some yellow there and I'm just going to add that to the tops of these bushes here. I'm skipping over a few there. When that dries, then I'll do some more highlights. See, right now I'm just in the stage of trying to see what things look like. I'm not trying to be perfect yet. I'm just trying to see, now, what would that look like? Because if I want to change my mind, I can. If I don't like those back there, I won't leave them there. I can take them out. If I want to, I'll just put in blue sky again. So you don't have to have them, you know. I'm not too happy with them, but I'm going to see if I can. I'll just leave them there to see if I can do something with them. As I find sometimes you have to almost do the whole painting in order to see the parts that you don't like, and you can fix them and take them out. Get some dark grasses. So take a bristle brush, same one or a different one, made a little bit bigger. It was up to you, and push it in your hand so it spreads open. See, and then we'll go into some shadow colors. So we're going to use burnt sienna, and with that green color that I have there. Last time I made that green color, so I'm going to add some. Little bit of shadow colors here and there. I'm not going to Okay, I know it looks funny now, but it'll come out nice when you get all the highlights and things on it. All right. Okay, I'm going to add more green this time. Get over by the road there. It's going to be a grassy area. And I want to get it so that we can keep our lights. Keep some of those lights. I want to keep some darks. I want to keep. Alright. You might need to let those darks dry before you start adding your light colors. Alright. Righty. Good. I'm going to try a fan brush. Try to add some grass here. Let's try adding some grass. So I'm going to wet my brush. And I'm going to add some of my green. Well, it's a bit of green mixed in there by accident. And that's okay. And I'm going to add some red, give an orangey. I want more yellow than red. Let's try adding some grass. Now I'm not fussy about these up here, so I'm going to go back. I dried this with a hair dryer. I'm going to go back a little further with these. Like I said, you can make changes. I'm not fussy about those trees. And we will tap on some grass. I'm picking up some of the green, that's a good thing. Bring that down into here. Pick up a little bit of red. I'm going to try and get some color into this painting, make it look pretty. Right, so we got some green, we got some, getting rid of some of those bushes. Some more yellow, a little bit of white this time. Go over the road a bit because we don't. That road is a little bit wide, but we want to show some grass on the road. Grass. There we go. And we're going to get some grass here. So what we're going to do is add a little bit of, you mix up your own colors if you want, as long as it's yellows and reds and whites and even a bit of burnt sienna, right? You know, a bit of green, whatever. And you mix up your, don't worry about it being exactly the same. But I know you're saying I need help with colors, but this will help you start to learn how to mix your own colors too, don't forget. See the grass going out on the road, isn't that cool? have a little bit of a hill going on there. So go in between what you already did. Fan brush is doing pretty good for grass. Nice and bright, isn't it? Good. Very nice. Add a little bit of burnt sienna to this here. I'm not fussy about that totally green color. I'm just going to tap over it with some burnt sienna. I'm keeping some of the green though, as you can see. See it? Just adding a bit of grass over here, a little bit of a darker grass. Contrast is really make sure the darks really make your lights pop. I want to put in more green, and this dark color probably here, more burnt sienna. I don't want a total green. I want more of a brownish color. Yeah, let's fill that whole part in there just so we can get some of those flowers in. Let's decide what we're going to do. I think nice red roses will be really pretty there. And let's see what else we have. We have some nice lighter flowers here. We get the path here. Maybe some more things going on over here, and then some little things going on. It's kind of cute though, isn't it? You know, it's a fairly easy painting, but needs more work. Now here we're going to add some flowers and roses. I think roses would be nice here. Red roses, wouldn't they? Pretty? I think that would be really pretty. So what I'm going to do is, because this is such a dark area here, we're going to. I'm using a small brush that has it's a round brush and has a tip on it so that it'll help me make nice roses. So I'm just going to make some white ones at first, and then I'll make them red, because if I just do red, you'll hardly see them because of the dark background. Alright, and then we're going to put in some leaves after. So let's just say we have some. So we're going to put a backward C and a forward C. Backward C and a forward C. And we'll just make a bunch of roses up here. Backward C and a forward C. Alright. You can make them in bunches. You can make some bigger than others. And we'll spread out a few. So this will be your underpainting for your roses. Maybe there's a, maybe there might be a couple down here. So we'll try that much first. I should do it. And now when that dries, then you can add your red. Alright, so, or you can put it on while it's wet. I don't think it would hurt. And just put on your red. Backward C and a forward C. Now, if you rather do your roses in a different way, you certainly can go ahead with that. Just trying to give you an idea of what you can get how you can get your roses started, and then you can add more things if you want to. See, they're much brighter now they have the white there. And our acrylic paint, it fades. The color dries darker. So you need some kind of a light background to keep it bright. Alright. And you could even give it a second coat when it dries. Make little dots as if there's smaller ones in the background. Okay. Don't need much. So that's a few roses, and we'll add more stuff now in a little while. Over here we can probably add some pink ones. Maybe something, some pink roses. So I'm going to add white. So I'll add some little white ones here, just a few. I'm just trying to make those backward, but sometimes the brush, when I touch the brush, it actually makes a really nice rose all by itself. So that's why you need a round brush with a really sharp tip, and that'll give you some beautiful flowers. Alright. Oh, pushed a little bit too hard. But they look nice. Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to add some leaves in between the flowers. Let's see. I got some, still my brush. You can use a flat or an angular brush. I might have to change brushes. I'm just going to try this one. I'm just going to make a light green. I like ultramarine blue and cad yellow and a bit of white. And then you get nicer greens. And I'm going to try. Let's see now. There's one leaf. Some small, some big. See, this brush is making the leaves for me. I'm just touching. I want to leave some dark, so I'm just going to scatter them in around here a little bit. Okay. Some down here. Nice big one right there, coming out of that leaf, out of there. And some smaller ones in the background. Alright, so you're just touching. As long as you got the right brush, you won't have to worry about your shape of your leaves. Alright? As long as you got the right brush, you're in business. You can add more flowers if you want. I'm going to add a bit more white to my green, and I'm going to add some lighter ones out here. Just for the sake of contrast, lighting. Okay. Move your brush in different ways so that they go different ways. Maybe a little bit out here, not much. I'm really thinking about putting something else out here. Okay, so that's that, and I might like to put some more on the other side. So I'm going to go back to my darker green, and I'm going to put some here. Okay, there's just a few leaves there. And let's see. What else? Alright, we'll think of something else. Get out your liner brush. Guys, I'm making this up as I go along, so bear with me. Let's go with some purple. I'm making it up as I go along. I'm looking at some pictures and things, but like, I'm not able to use a reference photo as such. Just looking at some pictures give me some ideas. Alright. I'm thinking maybe some lavender for a change. And I'm thinking we could put up some nice lavender right here. Alright. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Add a bit of white to that. A little bit of white. I don't want it to be too white now, but I'm going to overlap some of these, just kind of go back and forth. Use the very tip of your brush, and it's coming to get some of that lavender going there. Now I don't want it too light. Add some water to your brush if it's not moving. You can put in whatever you want, whatever you think might look nice in your painting. Some little ones over here, you don't want them to overpower everything. Okay, that's good. Maybe a few little ones down here, not much, because I don't want to overpower what I already have done. Experiment with your brushes, because flowers only take small brushes, angulars, rounds, flats, you know, synthetics. So just experiment with them and see what you can do with them. I'm going to take the small one, and I'm just small round, and I'm just trying to see if I can put some white. I got my paints getting a bit dirty, which is good, because now when I dip into my white, there's a little bit of lavender there, a little bit of green, but it's mostly white, okay? So as long as it's mostly white. And I'm just going to dab on a few white flowers here. Just kind of sporadic, okay? Just go into your yellows and your whites. Because you got to make it stand out, right? You got to be able to see it. So I'm just going into green, yellow, a bit of white. kind of nice, isn't it? So we want to come around this corner here and put some burnt sienna. Some burnt sienna and some blue on a dark color. Alright. And we will put a bit of a shadow here because that's the end of the grass and things, right? So I'm going to take it over there like that. It's going around the bend. Put some shadow. This is your shadows. So wipe off your brush. Whatever paint is on it, wipe it off. This is still wet, so now you can smooth this out. Soften it up. And vertically come into the road. Nice, look at that. Gives it a nice edge, doesn't it? I'm going to take my small round brush again. I'm just looking around a painting actually, just to see what I want to do. Just going to have a few little roses right here, just to balance it out a little bit. Just a couple little tiny ones. Nothing. Right, you can put the white on first if you want to, and then put your rose on, but let's see. Depends on what kind of flowers you want here. I'm just going to put a few little roses there or something. Just to balance it out. I'm trying not to overdo it, you know. With the same brush, I'm going to add a little darkness under the trees there because I'm always looking for contrast. So I'm just going to take some dark green. Some dark green. Add a little bit of blue if you need to darken up even more. I'm just going to add a little bit of contrast underneath here. Just come over and kind of wiggle your brush around a little bit. See that? Really makes a tree stand out more now. So this is a good lesson for learning contrast. And I've got a few like that. Might be a little harder for beginners, but everybody can learn, you know. I mean, if you've got a few paintings under your belt and you want to learn more advanced techniques, this would help. This would be good for intermediate and all levels and beginners. So that's better, isn't it? I'm going to take my fan brush and add some white to my fan brush. And I'm going to add some highlights back here, just like little white flowers or something. Maybe there's some little white things going on back here, but it gives it interest. I'm trying to show you how to add interest to your paintings, plus how to get nice contrast. And gives a nice grassy effect, doesn't it? A little bit more here. See the lights against the darks, how pretty it is. So I think I like the color of the pinkish color in the road. So we need to, let's see, alright, that's not bad. So I'm thinking probably a few little pebbles here, and if you see anything a little different there, it's probably because a couple of times I did a few things and I changed my mind, so I had to go back and fix it. It's no good showing you something that didn't work out. So I want to make it perfect for you. So let's do a few little pebbles, and I'm going to use a small round brush for that, just a small round brush like this, okay? And I'm going to put brown on one side of my brush, a little bit of brown or burnt sienna on one side, and white on the other. And then you got the tip of the brush with brown and white, and then on the brown side down, you can make some nice little pebbles or rocks or whatever you want to make there. That'll give more detail to your. Okay, so I want more brown. It's a bit too white. Okay, there we go. Here we go. That looks better. So when they further, they go back to smaller there, as you know. This is a couple of big ones in a row. Okay, some little pebbles there. So brown, a bit of white, and a little bit of, maybe there's some there hanging off the side. Some down here, maybe one over here. So this brush is great for those rocks, okay? Make it closer for you. See, so the brown side down, and see, just touch them, touch, pull over. Little ones, just touch. Don't even have to pull over, you just touch. Alright, just touch. Touch the very tip of your brush and get little tiny ones. One bigger one, just pull. This is the brush with a really sharp top on it. Alright. Maybe there's one. They're cute, aren't they? I'm just touching, look. Just a little touch. I don't want to put too many in there. I think the trees are nice green. I want to put some contrast in there, some dark green. So I'm just going to make my dark green with my bristle brush. Okay, I'll make a dark green with some blue and yellow. A bit of burnt sienna. Blue and yellow and burnt sienna. I'm going to add some of these darker areas. Even though we already added the light one, but I think one needs a bit of dark just to make it stand out. Then we can put some more highlights on it after. So try not to cover up everything you did. See? We'll do the other one. So I'm just putting them here and there just so I can get a bit of contrast. Alright. So all you need is a bit of a light green to go on tops of those. We'll probably leave some of that contrast there, so I'm just going to tap into my green and my yellow. See how that looks? Just going to find some places where I'd like to highlight. On the edges here. It's not bright enough, just add a bit more yellow. I'm gonna add a bit of white, I think. It seems like it doesn't wanna pop out. I'm just putting it here and there, as you can see. just enough to get them to jump out a little bit. And same with the other one. Seems like the white and yellow will probably bring it out. It's good. I like that. I like that. That's behind, so they can be in shadow anyway. Now, I think I should put a little bit of trim on that tree there. Whatever you want to call it, a little highlight there, even though it's in shadow because the light is coming in from the left and it's hitting here. There we go. I think we can call that finished. Just a little bit of highlight on this, not a highlight, but just something to show you that there's a tree there. So I'm just going to use a little bit of my burnt sienna and a little bit of white, a little bit of red. I don't want it to interfere with those roses either, so I don't want too much red. So burnt sienna and white, how's that? Too late. Let's go back to the burnt sienna. Burnt umber is another nice one too. If you got that, use that instead of burnt sienna. And then if you want to lighten it up, just add a bit of white to it. That's all. I'm just trying to get that tree to stand out a little bit more, which I did, and I don't need to darken it up a little bit more. I'm just going to add a little bit of blue to my burnt sienna so I can get some shadow in there. I almost lost it. There we go. That's fine. I think that's good. So I think maybe the path is a little plain, so I'm thinking maybe put some grass in the path. So we want the grass to match what's around it, so I'm thinking the yellowish color, a little bit of burnt sienna, just a little bit, and some green. So just as long as I got some of those colors in it. There you are. Let's see how that works out. Because you also want it to be a little shadowy too. You want to have something going on there to make it more interesting. That looks interesting already. Follow the shape of the path. It's going down here. Doesn't look too bad. That's a bit better. Needs something to... the path is a little bit too plain in my opinion. Now you don't have to have this, but I always try to find some little extra details that might bring things to life. I'm just tapping gently just to see what I want. A little bit more maybe. That gives it more interest, I think, to you. A little bit of highlight on top of that. Good. So a little bit of highlight. I'm just going to add a little bit of white to my yellow. And that'll give it a little more interest there. See? So like I say, you do whatever. You can put a little animal or something there, you know, or people walking, or a little squirrel. I was thinking about putting a squirrel in there. I might, I'm not sure yet. So also, I'm going to take a small flat brush. So I think I'm going to spread out that a little bit more. Have a bit of grass. Have a bit of grass in the road. A little bit going over here. Little bits of grass here and there. You don't have to do this. I'm just playing around now to see what it looks like. That's all. I think it needs more than just that path because I find it a little bit boring. So I'm just trying to add some interest by adding grass into the road itself or into the path. Some highlights to get it to stand out a bit. I like that better. I think that's better because it gives it something. You know, it gives it something more interesting. We're always trying to find ways to make our paintings more interesting, no matter if you got it done or not. Just have a quick look and see if you can see anything that might enhance it. And it's got to make sense. All right. There we go. Keep some of the rocks in there. But I like that. I like the fact that it's got grass in the path. Yep. And I'm going to put a few more little tree branches in the trees and some little, as if there's some tree branches down here. So with the dark color, it can be black, brown, dark brown. Let's put in a few little branches here and there. All right. I'm going to use a shorter liner brush, and I'm going to use white and a little bit of my dark color to make it kind of a grayish color, a light gray. And I'm going to add a few little light enough so you can see them anyway. That's better. All these little tiny details, they give a little more of an oomph to your painting. See how it came to life? I want to add a few things to the path. And there's your painting. Tree branches. And so we have lots of details. This is a well-detailed painting. I thought I would do that today, contrast. Because a lot of people are asking me, how do I add detail? Or how do I make my paintings more realistic? Or you know, so they ask me a lot of questions, and I'm trying to put it into a painting, which I think this one has accomplished. It has accomplished detail and kind of a realistic look, but it didn't accomplish enough distance. A lot of people ask me about depth and distance, so I'm going to create a little bit of a depth there. Just to create depth and distance. We're going to make some trees in the back of those trees, which I could have did in the beginning. Like if you're going to do that, do it first. And I'm going to, blues and purples help create distance, okay? Blues and purples, nice and light too. Very light, you can barely see them. So just keep it really light. Add a little more red. Want to get it nice and bright. So just keep getting the lightest color you can. And we will make sure that's nice and bright. So we can create distance by adding some background trees in the background. that are far away. It gives it like they're far away. You could put mountains back there that you can barely see, and that would give it a distance. Okay. So there's some distant trees in the background there. Or it could be little hills. It could be anything at all, as long as there's something back there to show some distance, okay? Hopefully you can see that. Almost looks like hills, doesn't it? Well, that can be that too. There we go. I'll just put some highlights in this right here just to make it look like there's something behind the tree there, maybe a bush or something, and same here, just so it won't look so standing out too much. So you have to make these decisions when you stand back and look at your painting and say, does something look odd? Is there something wrong? But anyway, I think that's done. Came out nice, lots of detail, lots you can learn with this painting. So go ahead and give it a try. And if you need any help or you have any questions, email Allison Prior, ALLISONPRIOR @yahoo.com, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Well, thank you for painting along with me. I hope you enjoyed that painting. And if you did enjoy that painting, leave a comment below in the comment section. Let me know what you liked about that painting. What part of that painting did you like? What was your favorite part? And if you have any questions about brushes or paints or anything about the painting itself, just email me at allisonprior@yahoo.com or leave a comment down below. And I will see you in the next video.